Well, hello. How you doing? Having a great start to your day? Hope so. Okay. And guess what day it is today? Question and answer Friday. Okay. Nick, good morning. And Mike from Norland. Wendy, good morning to you. Rosa. And Michelle, Tennessee. We appreciate Tennessee. Lenora, good morning. John, Elgin, Illinois. Rita, good morning. Lori, how are you? And Gloria, good morning. Wendy from Markham, good morning. April, how are you? It's April. It's still April. Kevin, Oshawa, Jeanette, bonjour. Jeanette from our staff, good morning. Lux, Marilyn, how are you? And Jocelyn, Sturgeon, Micheline, good morning to you. Bon vendredi. Terry, how are you? Nellie, Fran from Orangeville. And guess what? Sunny. And it's sunny in Florida, I bet you too, right, Kim? Len and Judy, Edmonton, Alberta. Helena, Sandra, Andrea, Mary, good morning to you guys. Sue, how are you? Manitoulin Island. Wow. Love Manitoulin Island. Francis Marie and Babika, how are you? Jean and Jeanne, bonjour. Martine, Dora, Giovanna, Palmerston, Ontario. Where is that? Samora. We appreciate you guys. And Deb's from Detroit. Emily, good morning. Couple more and let's get going. Debbie, TGIF, yes. And Margaret Morial, bonjour. Francis Marie, or did I already say hello? Marianne, how are you? Chandra, Brampton. St. Catharines, May. Zian. And Sharon. Wyoming. Wow. Natalie. Donna. Colette. Good morning to you. Casamina. Nice to have you on, and I mean it. Okay, so let's get to these questions. And we appreciate all the questions that came in. Cheryl's asking about her 16-year-old son. Is it all right if he can use creatine? And yeah, he can use it. It's a supplement, right? And look, I don't care what you take. You ain't going to be building muscles unless you work hard at it. And, 16-year-old, good for him if he's starting to muscle build. And I really like that. It's good for them. Good discipline. Everything about it is good. Tell him never to take any steroids. But he can take protein powders. There's whey, there's creatine, there's... I like bone broth. Can I tell you why? Because it is the best protein in the world is bone broth. Okay, now somebody else asked a question, so Cheryl absolutely can do that. Let me just get to somebody. Oh, Marilyn, does homemade beef bone broth considered the same as eating red meat? Yes and no. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, yes, you got lots of nutrition in bone broth. Okay, from collagen that I talked to you about, okay, which is the best protein in the world is collagen protein. And you've got all the amino acids like L-glutamine, which is really good for your gut, and you've got lots of minerals in there. And as the bone leached, you're getting lots of stuff. Now, you're not going to get the heme iron You'll get some iron and it'll be heme, but you're not going to get the amount that you would in vitamin S in steak. So is it good? 100%. Is it as good as it's not as good tasting as eating steak, okay? But it is a tremendous supplement, okay? It really is. So, good question, Marilyn. Is it the same as eating red meat? Well, it's a good substitute. Like, never get into the meatless craze, okay? Like, that gives me a splitting headache when I see soy substituted for meat. I mean, that is insanity on steroids. How crazy that is. And how people get duped into that, it's unbelievable that, they're going after the animal kingdom. But like I've told you many times, beware of it. There's an agenda out there. Don't be shocked when you see negative studies on the animal kingdom like there was the other day about cheese. Don't be shocked by that. Don't be confused by that. A lot of people come on to the Facebook group and says, I'm confused. Because Dr. Martin says one thing, and all the other gurus, including even sometimes my naturopath or whatever, they're saying something else. Don't eat red meat. It's going to be acidic and it's not good for you. It's cancer producing and it's blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I got to say it. They're wrong and I'm right. Now, God gave you a brain, use it. Do your own research. You're hearing from me, but I try and give you a common sense approach. And I know there's an agenda out there. If you understand, get in behind the scenes and understand the agenda. The agenda, we saw it on steroids in the last couple of years. It's just, like they want to get us away from everything has to do with the climate. Everything has to do with the environment. And I'm not saying all of that is bad. I'm not saying that. They're getting us away from carbon, right? And they're blaming cows as part of it. And they're vilifying the dairy industry. Now listen, you know me. I'm not big on store-bought milk either. But you can't eliminate cheese. You can't eliminate cream. It's good for you. Okay? So, anyway, you know where I come from. And, because people are trying, again, I must have answered looked at 5 blood tests yesterday, and the little part of the preamble before the blood test was coming. What do I say to my doctor? Well, I would tell you, why pick a fight? Why pick a fight if you don't have to? I don't try and set people straight if they're not listening. I know how doctors think. I know what their training is in nutrition. I know what they think about cholesterol. They've been hoodwinked. That's all they know. The pharmaceutical industry has taken over medicine. It's teaching them that cholesterol is the boogeyman. The sun is bad for you. Fat makes you fat. Right? Well, if you understand that, and look, I don't want you to lose your doctor. I don't. But you have to, in this day and age, with all the information there is out there, what I try and do is equip you to think. Not to blindly accept the narrative that's out there. It's a narrative. It's being driven. And I try and stand up to it if it's not true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look at through this pandemic. We had a narrative, and you couldn't even talk really about the immune system. 40 cents worth of vitamin D would have saved billions of dollars. Studies have shown. Just in decreased hospitalization. Did you hear about it? Fake news. But it's not fake news. It's just that it would have won, vitamin D would have won the Nobel Prize in medicine. And it should. But don't hold your breath, guys. And, do I get frustrated? Yep. Do I get frustrated by the same old narrative? Yep. I get frustrated, but I understand it. Where it's coming from. You got three major players in the world. If you understand this, guys, I'm going to give it to you now. Three major players in the world. You have numero uno, the pharmaceutical industry. They are so powerful. I don't know about in Europe, but in Canada and the United States, they have so much money and so much lobbying to politicians and then to the media. Guys, I actually consulted for a small pharmaceutical company. They were small, comparatively. Okay? And they were getting into, Henkel was getting into the nutraceutical. And I was consulting for them. Man, and they weren't big compared to, Pfizer and Bayer and, you name the company. But I'm telling you, when you watch the pharmaceutical industry, so folks, three. Second one is the food industry. They're huge. Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola, Kraft, Unilever. And they have a narrative with all these crappy carbs and cereals and bad oils. And they're going to push it. And part of that narrative is the animal kingdom is bad for you. Pharmaceutical, the food, and then you have the big social media. Media and social media. That's the way it is, guys. And they're powerful. And they have a narrative. And they usually sing from the same song sheet. And when you get in behind and you understand that, like to me, okay, I know what I'm up against. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. I had a radio show for 20 years before I did this. I did the podcast. But I look behind the scenes and I'm sorry, I'm going to preach it to you and preach it to you and preach it to you. And you guys have got to, and that's why I don't mind the questions. But I when you compare a piece of red meat to anything else in the food, in food, I'm sorry, it's the king of the castle. And the others are the dirty rascal. No, it just nothing else compares in terms of vitamins, supplement, what's in there. Like I went through this with you many, many a time. You have the best protein, the best fat, your macros, very low carb, if any at all, in your eggs, meat, and cheese. That's why I preach it. That's why I talk to you about it every day. More vitamins, more minerals than anything. I'm sorry. The truth will set you free. Okay. Did anybody even ask that question? Why did I even talk about that? Because I had to rant this morning, okay? Gloria says, I take 200 milligrams of progesterone every night. 200 milligrams. And I got to ask you the question, Gloria, is it bioidentical? Because that's a lot of progesterone. Now, is it a wild yam? That's different. It's not real progesterone. It's a precursor, but it's not. So, Gloria, I need to, and here's what she's saying. It makes me sleepy. Well, that's good. Anything, if you're going to bed and something makes you sleepy, but it ain't a sleeping pill, okay? Because you're saying, is that having the same effect in my brain as a sleeping pill? No, sleeping pills is sedation. Big difference. It's sedation. And like if you take melatonin and it works for you, okay? I put it together, the cortisol formula. I put what? I got 8 things in there that I find calms you down. When it actually lowers cortisol. And that's what you want. It doesn't knock you out. You don't want to be knocked out. Sleeping pills sedate you. You get knocked out if you're going for surgery. They're not playing games. Okay? They're not playing games at the hospital when the anesthesiologist comes over and, puts the, you're in la land, but that ain't good for you. Look, I'm glad they have anesthesia, anesthetics. I'm glad. You ever had surgery? Hallelujah. They're knocking the stinking life out of you. But it's not, you're not sleeping. Okay? You got knocked out by a heavyweight boxer. Mike Tyson knocked you out. And you're one thing that's not happening, if you artificially put yourself to sleep, one thing that's not happening is your self-cleaning oven in your brain. When you sleep and you go through the 4 stages of sleep, REM and non-REM sleep, in and out of it, your brain repairs itself. It's a self-cleaning oven. But not when you're taking sleeping pills. You don't get the in and out, the REM and the non-REM. You get knocked out. It's different. It's sedation. It's not real sleep, and there's a big difference there. But Gloria, if you can get back to me, let the girls know, because I'm interested in like 200 milligrams of progesterone. Number 1, is it bioidentical? Natural progesterone, or did your doc, and I can't see your doctor giving that to you in a pill. But anyway, let me know. Carol, is leaky gut and liver issues related? 100% for sure. Okay? What happens in the gut, don't stay in the gut if you got leaky gut. That's the key. Leaky gut, leaky skin, leaky lungs, leaky liver, leaky joints, leaky brain, leaky heart. Because your gut, guys, has got trillions and trillions of bacteria in there. It's called your microbiome, good, bad, and ugly. Okay? And you want to keep the bad guys from overwhelming the good guys, and you don't want the ugly yeast coming in. So yeast can spread, and there's a real connection between your gut and your liver when it comes to the conversion of T4 to T3. For your thyroid even, they're connected. Because your liver is where you connect things to T3, mostly. But also, it happens, there's 20% of it that happens in your gut. So even your thyroid is affected by what happens in the gut. So that's why, like somebody said yesterday on the on the private Facebook group, all disease starts in the gut. Well, that's what Hippocrates said, the father of medicine 2,000 years ago. Now, he was a genius, believe you me. What he said got lost. And even today, doctors, they rarely talk about the gut, other than it, unless you have digestive issues. But these are non-digestive issues. You can have leaky gut. You don't even have to have one symptom of anything going on digestively, because they're connected. Those bacteria in your gut, they communicate with the liver, the brain, your joint, everywhere where you have bacteria, they talk to each other. Hello, 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 hello. And the state of your gut is really important. It's not the only thing. Like I said, the number one thing, in my opinion, gut is right there. But because especially in autoimmune, and especially when you look at Parkinson's and MS and lupus and rheumatoid arthritis and psoriatic arthritis and you name it, Sjogren's, all those autoimmune, I'm telling you, they start in the gut. And the reason we see so much of it, it's not the only reason, but one of the main reasons we see so much of that is antibiotics. Wonderful. Save your life. Oh, but the double-edged sword of that. The double-edged sword of that. Okay? Including cancer. Because of fungus. Because of yeast. The good, bad, and ugly. And the ugly is yeast. And yeast, when it gets into your system, candida, I'm telling you, is a major, major problem. Including liver cancer. Okay? But the benefits of doing the reset, guys, I'm telling you, day after day after day. Yeah, there's always people that, it doesn't, for them, it's, they're frustrated. I'll give you one of them in a minute. And I understand that. But I'm not coming off the point that 99% of the people that do the reset start seeing huge changes. You're emptying your liver. You know how important that is for you? To empty your liver? The Costco parking lot. Empty it. Because the liver, that ugly organ that you have, is so important. Your liver does 600 things. You never think of your liver. Why would you? I don't even like eating liver. But I know how important it is for your heart, for your thyroid, for your brain, your liver. So, it's really, really important to know that, okay? Really important to know that. Okay, Carol, good question. Somebody that's anonymous, would insulin be a problem behind a child getting seizures only when they get a fever? No. No, I don't think so. That's more inflammation. It's an overreaction. where it's almost like autoimmune to some extent, where the body is sending in the ambulance because you have a virus and you're getting too much of a response to that. A little bit autoimmune. I would look, and a child with that, I would look at their gut there. There's a time to really look to see about the gut. But I think it's more of an inflammation problem. But I'd get them on probiotics for sure. Okay, Lori, what health benefits to taking biotin? Well, biotin, look, I like it. I put it in my hair formula. Okay? A lot of people like that. Look, side effects. Look, if you overdose on biotin, not that I've ever seen it. Again, you Google it, then biotin. The hospitals are not full of people who take. I know what happened to you. You took too much biotin. What? No. Okay. So, Laurie, I wouldn't worry. But if you find it helpful, I put it in. I never used biotin on its own. Okay, because I like a combination of things. I'm a guy that I had to get results in my clinic, Laurie. So I never go take biotin and you're gonna have the best hair in the universe. Okay? I used to have the best hair in the universe. No, I didn't. I always had good hair, though. And I'm a man. A lot of men lose their hair. Okay? I got a picture of myself when I graduated in 1974. Oh, my word. What happened to me? Jeepers creepers. Okay? And for those days, I actually had short hair. But in today's style, I look like a hippie compared to today. Anyway, okay. Rona. Been eating low carb and intermittent fasting for 10 months. Well, good for you. Good for you. That's the idea. Low carbs. I never say no carbs except for the reset. A lot of people go with no carbs. They don't need carbs. You don't. You don't need carbs to live. If your body needs some sugar, it'll take steak and turn that into sugar. Okay? You don't need it, honestly. But anyway, that's the question is, okay. And what are you asking here? Oh, I get bad head rushes from working or in a bent over position. Well, I would say to you, Rona, you got something going on in your middle ear. Maybe coming from your neck because it's positional, right? It sounds like you're fine most of the day, but if you're getting bad rushes when you're bent over and whatever, that's positional. And so I always look at the middle ear. I like Navitol for the middle ear because it elevates your nitric oxide. And you might want to get your neck checked. Could be some impingement there. Okay? Joanne, do I have an opinion on food coma? Well, look, I thought I talked about this last week or the week before. Look, I always say, look, Joanne, usually find out if there's any foods. Like I see that as sort of an autoimmune response again. I would look at the gut and as almost like a food intolerance. I think what I'm going to do one day is actually do a session on that because there's a lot that I could sort of talk to you about what to look for. Melanie, what is the best way to get rid of leptin resistance? The best way, Melanie, to get rid of leptin resistance is to get rid of insulin resistance. Leptin is your hormone that your body releases to tell you that you're full. The problem is when you're a carboholic and you have insulin resistance, you often have with it leptin resistance. Your body needs so much more to tell you that you're full. That comes with the package oftentimes in insulin resistance. I talk about it in the reset. Leptin, fixing the leptin and the ghrelin. Okay? And one's telling you to eat, and the other one's telling you you're full, and they get all mixed up a lot of times with insulin resistance. How do you fix it? And look, part of it can be intermittent fasting or eating within windows. What do I like about that? That you're not always snacking. You're not always, because that you're secreting insulin. Don't eat at night. You're secreting insulin. And if you can narrow your windows of eating. We got in North America in our craw. What we have in our craw is we need to eat. Boy, we eat a lot more than we need to eat. Right? And I'm not talking calories. I'm just talking frequency. People eat and they feel they have to. And the more you do that, the more you will, you're leptin resistant. So one of the ways is to eat less frequently, okay? And I'm big on that. But here's me. If you're eating 99 octane, not 87, you're not eating the crappy carbs and sugars and the fructose, and you're eating protein and fat in the animal kingdom, your cells won't be screaming to feed me, feed me, feed me. They won't be. Because you're giving, it's not calories, guys. It's not calories in and calories out. That's not true. It never was true and never will be true. It's quality, not quantity. Got it? Quality of food, not quantity of food. And so when you're having a piece of steak, hamburger, not the bun, the hamburger, you're getting quality, not quantity. Okay? And you will find that you will need to eat much less when you're eating protein and fat, the way God put it in food. Because that's what the animal kingdom is. It's the perfect combination. That when you eat cheese, you're getting fat, but not your body not getting fat. You're getting fat as a very good macro. The right kind of fat. You mean saturated fat? Yeah, saturated fat is satisfied fat. It's not looking for something else. When you're having vegetable oils, and they're really, when you go for an oil change, and I shouldn't say it, but when I go for an oil change in my truck, okay? The guys always ask me, okay, and what do I know about my truck? I said, you guys should know about my truck. Why are you asking me? Well, they asked the question, what do you want to put in there, Doc? Do you want regular oil or semi-synthetic or fully synthetic? Well, I said, what's my truck called for? Well, they say a semi or full. Synthetic. Synthetic. Okay, but that's my truck. That's not you. Because your body is calling for oil. But you don't want synthetic oil. So when you see margarine, that's synthetic. Good for your truck, but not for you. Your body isn't calling for synthetic oils. Those are synthetic oil, fully synthetic. Margarine, canola, grapeseed. Those are synthetic oils. Your body wants saturated fat because it's the oil your body is looking for because that's when you can absorb your vitamins that are fat soluble. And by the way, they're in that food that you're eating. Ooh. Guys, that's science. That can't change. Your body will never be, oh, you know what? We found an oil that is fully synthetic that your body loves. No, it don't. No, it don't. No, it won't. No, it don't and won't. No, it won't. Your body wants the original oil from food. That's why bacon is good for you. Okay? It has oleic acid. What an oil that is. The same oil that's found in olive oil. The real olive oil. Make sure, because apparently out there's a lot of imitations of even olive oil. Do I like coconut oil? Yep. I do. Okay? I do. That's real oil. But your body likes the oil from your steak and your cheese and your eggs more than it likes olive oil and coconut oil, even though I like those oils. Got it? Why did I even go? Did I go on another? Yep. Okay. Kathy, if you reverse insulin resistance, will new brain cells develop? Absolutely. Now listen. You want to get this, guys. This is so key. Take care of your brain. Start early. If you haven't started yet, start today. Don't wait. Don't wait till you got dementia, Alzheimer's. I feel so sorry for people. I'm 70. You know what I do? I take care of my brain. I need my brain. And I know what insulin does to my brain. Because when you get insulin resistance, here's what happens in the brain. Insulin resistance, your brain cells won't let insulin come in and take that sugar out the way it should. And you know what sugar does? It saturates your memory cells. It drowns them. That's why they called Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. Why are diabetics so much more susceptible to Alzheimer's? It's the sugar connection, babe. Sugar is toxic. I don't know how many times I got to tell you that. It's toxic, and especially to the brain. So start early. And if someone calls you fathead, take it as a compliment. You want that fat that I was talking about. That's why protein in combination with fat, protein and fat, not carbs. You don't want donuts. Donuts is carbs and fat. That's not good. And guess what kind of fat? The synthetic fat. That's how you make a donut. Okay? That's terrible for your brain. But fat, saturated, plus protein, steak, eggs, cheese, your brain loves it. Take care of it. Take care of it. That's why I'm big on high DHA. I'm huge on that for my brain. I take that curcumin, Navital. Okay, where do my questions go? Okay, got to get going. Wow, I'm talking too much here. Okay. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is I am going to keep going on Monday. Yeah, because I got way too many questions. Ooh, boy. I didn't do nothing today. I was talking so much. Here's what we're going to do. Monday, is going to be question and answer finish up. Okay, we got to do it because I got about another 10 questions there that I want to hit. So for you guys, and I got off on tangents. I promise never to do it again till Monday. Okay, because I can't help myself. I'm a tangent guy. Rabbit trails, okay? I can't help myself. Okay, guys, have I told you lately that I love you? Have I? You guys are wonderful. Thanks for putting up with my shenanigans. I appreciate it. And again, we invite your questions, okay? Like this, sometimes I get off on little side roads, and I didn't get all of them in, and that's my fault, nobody else's, okay? So we're gonna have a great week next week, okay? We got lots. I got a couple of new studies that you'll really appreciate too. But Monday, I promise you, we're gonna get to these questions. I got to do it because it's not fair to the people that ask me, okay? Now, okay, we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.